Well, good evening. Wanted to stop in and take a few minutes to just share a few things as we move forward in 2022. Of course, it's been a season of what my subject matter is today for just a few minutes. Adjustments, of course, these last couple of years, as everybody knows, there have been a lot of shifts and changes in life, in career, in business. And so we've had to, as individuals, as entrepreneurs, we've had to take the initiative to make adjustments in order to advance forward, make adjustments in our homes, make adjustments in our businesses, make adjustments on our jobs. So many different areas of adjusting. And so it takes, it takes effort to do that. You have to have a plan of action. When you're going to make adjustments, and some adjustments are easy, some are difficult, some are easy to manage, some are not. And so, just want to, just share a few things regarding making adjustments to advance, and it's necessary. And, so oftentimes I know for myself personally, there have been a lot of personal matters that have occurred over the last year. And so personally, I had to take some time to make some adjustments. I had to rethink, I had to re-strategize, and I had to redefine what it is that I do as a consultant and in the business arena. So I had to make some serious decisions. I had to make some adjustments in order to move forward. And so some of those things that I've had to do, wanted to just share those things with you. There may be somebody that could use some of this information to help you where you are, where you're trying to go, whatever that situation or circumstance may be. So three of the areas that were paramount in my adjustment process to excel forward, to move forward, were rethinking, re-strategizing, and redefining. Prior to the pandemic, there was a lot of face-to-face events. There were a lot of things we were doing, face-to-face workshops, conferences, all sorts of events. However, as a result of the pandemic, we've had to pivot and we've had to adjust how we get information to those that we share with, those particular career areas with. As it relates to the things we do, what I do relative to consulting, pen to paper, all of those things, I've had to make readjustments. So I had to rethink what I was doing. So I had to re-strategize what I rethought about, and then I had to redefine some areas. And so, just thinking about that, and in the process of doing that, I had to get in a space that, number one, was conducive for my process of rethinking. In other words, I had to get in a place where I could focus and have the right posture and have the right disposition, and not only that, have the right environment. So I had to take some time away from my normal environment, that kind of thing, in order to kind of think about, Bridget, what is it that you want to do? What direction do you want to go in? How else is it that you can impact people? How else is it that you can share what it is that you've been gifted to do to make a difference and to impact people's lives? And so I had to really think that through and really think about what direction I wanted to take that and how I needed to do that. And then in doing the rethinking process and thinking about what that was, and I had to re-strategize. I had to put a plan together that was going to help me to carry that out. And so, of course, in this time that we're living in, and I think I've shared this time and time again in previous lives and events and things of that nature, you have to stay relevant so that you can definitely be a part of the cutting edge of whatever your area or your industry is. And so that goes along with the industry of technology. And so you have to be up on that. You have to learn to use platforms to your advantage. And of course, for those of us who are Facebook savvy, Instagram savvy, and all these other technology opportunities and social media platforms that are here, you have to determine what works best for you. And so for me, I had to, First of all, I just came off of social media altogether for some time so that I could definitely do what it is that I wanted to do without distraction, number one. Number two, so that I could definitely put a plan of action together and not be distracted by trying to maintain something that I wasn't totally 100% given to. And so took some time to do that, and then I gradually worked my way back to those platforms that I thought would be beneficial to me, and not necessarily all at one time, but a little bit at a time. And so that was important for me. Then rethinking the avenues, what are the possibilities? What are the opportunities? What kind of availability do I have? And how much time needs to be given to the various areas that I want to work in and what I want to do, how I want to impact? Is that book writing? Is that consulting on projects? Is that, for in-person type, because there is still some in-person type connections, the creativity, how do I want to use that? How do I want to disperse that? How do I want to weigh that out? Because you want to make sure that you allow yourself the opportunity to be successful in those areas. And like I said, you want small victories along the way. So you want to be able to at least do one area well, and then you move on to the next area so that you can have some small victories along the way, because that gives you some motivation. And then you want to pair your possibilities with your purpose, whatever your purpose is, what it is you called to do, you're destined to do, you created to do. Pair that with the possibilities that you're looking for. And then you got to be open for doing some things new. If you're married to things that are no longer working, it's going to be difficult to find an avenue to re-strategize and move yourself forward, because things are always changing, always evolving. So it's important to make sure that you're open for change. You're open for doing things different, and change is difficult. It's always going to challenge you. It's going to bring you out of your comfort zone. And so you have to see every door as an open door, whatever that door is. See how it can benefit you in whatever area or areas that you are contemplating moving forward. And then you want to always be open for being different. And I'll say this just as a catalyst for a series of conversations around adjusting to excel. And just kind of talking about rethinking today. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about re-strategizing and redefining in the upcoming weeks. But one of the things, I want to encourage you to do, and that is to be different. Learn to be different. I know when I started pen to paper and as a part of my consulting and what I was doing, nobody was really doing that type of consulting, and I thought it was kind of crazy, didn't know how it was going to work. But it was different, and it was a chance I had to take. It proved to be, an area that people really could utilize, and it was impactful. And so, but had I never stepped out and done it, I never would have known. So I want to encourage you to be different, take a chance, step outside of your comfort zone, do something you've never done. You don't know how it'll work until you try it. Invest in yourself. Sometimes that may feel scary financially. It may, be an area that really challenges you. But if you have the ability and the wherewithal to do it, I encourage you to do it, because in this season, that's what it's going to take. And especially being a leader, you're going to have to take some risk, and, life itself have risk involved. So just wanted to share those few things today. And as I said, in the upcoming weeks, I'll be in periodically to share on re-strategizing and redefining, and some things in those areas as well. But be back on before the end of the week to just share a little bit more about rethinking and some of the things that I've implemented and just kind of did for myself to help myself get back to that place, get back on track. Because it's been a rocky road. It's been a rocky road. It's been a lot of personal things, of course, that have life has just happened. Like I know it's happened to us all. But for me, grief was a really, really, really hard thing. And it was one of those things that brought on a lot of depression and other things that I had to battle through. And so thankful that I was able to get through that and begin my process of redefining, re-strategizing, and rethinking about the things I wanted to do to move forward. So hopefully these things will kind of get you to thinking about what it is that you're doing, how you're doing. You may have already relaunched what you're doing, or if you're in the middle of doing something, it could be something that can be helpful to you to help you kind of get going in another direction, or if you're adding a different area to what you're doing. Adding another business. That was a part of my process as well in my rethinking. So I talk about a little more about that the next time, and some of those things that I kind of set aside that were kind of dormant that I kind of pick back up, and how I'm implementing it and how I'm using that to advance myself forward. So hopefully these are tips and information that will motivate you and encourage you. And it's a conversation that you can replay at your leisure, and take some of those points away, and see how it will benefit you as you move forward. Have a wonderful evening, and see you the next time. Bye-bye.